Is it because of my ad blocker? Probably.
Oh,
Be alive.
Hey, YouTube.
be a live.
Oh, what?
Be alive.
O'Reilly?
Live.
Alive.
Auto parts.
Oh, man. I was looking for a hood to flip up, and I don't have one. That was depressing. Oh, man.
It is I who is hooded today.
This is the worst day of my life. I reach back there, and there's nothing but a collar. Oh. God, strike me down.
I have won the Hood Olympics.
You have. I'm not.
God, strike me down.
Whoa, easy. It was so intense. It happened
anything
again.
to put in there is me begging God to strike me down.
That's where I got to opening up the YouTube finally.
Put on that live chat. Post to the people.
Done.
Get all this shit out there.
I've done it. I guess I have to post to the tweets as well.
Do we still do that?
I post to Twitter occasionally.
Really? Is anyone actually still on it that we know?
I don't know.
I mean, all right. Oh, what was the name of this? What was the name of this one?
Sworn to Justice.
Sworn to Jews.
Sworn to Justice.
Dice. Justice.
594.
Sworn to Justice. Yes.
Justice.
Oh wait. All right, I meant to see. I meant to look somebody up in this. Who are you again? Who are you?
Who?
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. The DA lady who everyone seemed to have some sort of ulterior motive that never manifested in this movie.
Correct.
But the DA lady was Dawson's mom. I was like, when she came up, I was like, at first, because Dawson's mom sort of looks like Julie Bowen from Modern Family.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that can't be Julie Bowen. It's like there's about probably a 5 or 10 year age difference there. I gotcha.
Correct.
What's a Modern Family again?
The sitcom that was on for like 12 years. Okay. It was really good.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
I see reels.
That's where Sofia Vergara became popular.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
Wait, is that the one with Ed O'Neill?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. I know what you're talking about now. I've never seen a single episode of it, but I'm aware of it.
Me neither. High five.
I've seen them all.
High five.
I'm just saying, it's one of those ones I've seen every episode of.
Yeah, it was one of those, and I was just like, okay, that looks like a sitcom. See ya. Next. Oh, exciting news. Speaking of, like, I've seen one of, or every episode of it. I met the other world's biggest How It's Made fan.
Oh.
Last week.
Okay.
Went to a friend's birthday dinner, and the guy sitting next to me and I were talking. I don't even know how it came up, but he was like, yeah, I torrented every episode of How It's Made, and I have watched every single one of them at least once. And I was like, well, we're friends now. Let us talk some more. So we're going on vacation together next year.
I like it.
That's how a friendship's made.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, I keep seeing that one thing that's like how guys become friends after like 10 seconds. And and it's one with, what's that Superman dude's name and the Witcher guy? Henry Cavill.
Okay.
And he's like on one of those British talk shows or something.
Right.
And, you know, the one where they got like, not Graham Norton, but one like that where there's like 4 or 5 people.
Jonathan Ross, probably.
I don't know. But there's like 2 other chicks there. And then there's like the 4th dude on the end who somehow it comes up that he plays Warhammer. Mm-hmm. And then Cavill's immediately like, oh, what army? And he's like, oh, Necros. And then he's like, oh, you? And he's like, you know, Imperial or whatever. I don't know Warhammer at all. But he's like, oh, Imperial. And they're like, oh shit, well, let's play. And Cal's like, yeah, let's do that. And it's like, we are friends now.
Yep.
Because we both play Warhammer.
Yeah, Henry Cavill's a legit super fucking nerd.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he can play Warhammer because he's got millions of dollars.
He's the one person that
He
wants
can be
to
good
play
at
it
Warhammer.
that can
He
afford
can
it.
also talk publicly about playing Warhammer because he has
Because
Millions
look
of
at him.
dollars,
Yeah,
and
'cause-
he's handsome as shit.
he has like a 16-pack.
Yeah, look at him. Of course, he can say whatever he wants about Warhammer. But yeah, but that's just the whole like how dudes become friends. It's just like, hey, yeah, hey man, I like peanut butter and jelly. Hey, me too. We should hang out.
I can't believe you like hand jobs and money.
I love that it's kind of like the real life version of that. You know, it's just like
Except the hand jobs and money is like
everybody likes
Yeah.
hand jobs and money.
exactly.
I mean, sort of how all of this started was like
Hand jobs and money.
hand jobs and
that's
money.
true.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty much the BMFcast origin story.
Yeah.
The real origin story is average hand jobs and money.
Yeah.
No, I think it was basically just like, hey, you like movies? Yeah, I like movies too.
Let's
Cool.
talk about him.
You want to talk about them one day?
Let's talk about him.
Okay.
Well, I can't remember if we hung out at T. Straw's house before that or
We
what
must
it
have.
was.
Yeah.
Before what?
But I
Like,
mean,
obviously before we started like doing the podcast thing and being
yeah.
friends. But you know how like kind of like you have that mutual friend where like you only see those people when you see that person
Right.
type thing. I feel like T. Straw was that for a little bit at least.
Oh, absolutely.
Like for you and me at least.
Yeah,
BJ,
definitely.
I kind of knew.
yeah, you
I
guys
don't even
have
know
been,
how we knew.
You guys have been
each
working at the paper a lot longer than I had. I mean,
I think we
Yeah.
just had crossed each other's paths a few
Yeah.
times. Maybe we had met at
They-
Tommy's before.
Yeah, we had probably met at Tommy's and just hung out. But either way. Yeah, and then we all played Rock Band.
yeah, I honestly remember
An excessive amount.
I seem to remember
together.
the first time I ever met you was like he literally walked me over your office. It was like he's into whatever talk. I mean, it was just like one of those
Oh,
things.
yeah.
Yeah, I, mean, I think it was like literally like he walked me over. He was like, "Hey, this is you're both into this."
So that was the point. Yeah, because you didn't start till after I had moved into an actual office
something like that.
and I didn't have employees. I just had an office.
yeah, I just remember.
I
it was
had
like,
a
it was
title
like here's
with-
somebody that knows what you're talking about. Talk.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, you like hand jobs?
Yeah.
How about money?
Yeah.
Can't believe you like Optimus Prime too.
Speaking of hand jobs, let's quit jerking around and
Ah.
light this candle.
Let's get these Starbucks on the road.
Yeah.
God,
I'm so good at this.
I don't even know where
Where to go to?
to go with this movie.
Yeah, I mean that's.
We just gotta
well,
go
We just got to start
from the beginning.
We just got to start. Yeah, we just got to start how it's a completely different movie in the beginning and then 15 others before it's done. Yeah. Anywho, are we ready?
I'm ready.
594. Yep. Okay.
Sworn to justice?
Oh, Curtis is here. We could start.
Oh, thank God it's Curtis.
I don't know where Bobbert is, but I always feel awkward starting if Bobbert's not here.
Good evening.
Well,
Curtis.
can't have everything.
Yeah, it's true. But we can try. Let's do this. End we said, right? Correct? We conferred on end?
Yeah.
All right, end.
We will say there's an announcement. Hey guys, there's an announcement.
Yeah. there's an
And
announcement.
then once we have said that it'll be at the end. Then
Right.
at the end we will say it.
The counting of the number shall be 3.
Yep.
All right, welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey,
BMFcast.
Episode 594.
Ooh,
Yeah.
So many.
like Nintendo 64. That has a 4 in it.
Uh-huh.
Plus 53. Sure.
Sure, 530.
530? Yeah, something like that. I don't know. Math.
Uh-huh.
Not our strong suit.
I did it. So I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
And what we do every episode of the BMFcast is we go to watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie. Then we come in here and talk about it. Then they get ratings. Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. They get 1-5 jocks and robot jocks. Which is musical for some reason.
Always.
However, there are bad movies. Doesn't stay away. They get a negative sliding scale. 1 to 5 bags. Doesn't giant bags of trash.
Ooh. exhausting.
So, as we work our way through the backlog of crap, I don't know how else to say it. I mean,
It is time to Rothrock you.
It is, yeah.
That's all there is to it.
The queen is here to Rothrock you.
Before we get into all that, just want to let you know, listen to the end of the episode. This episode, we have an announcement to make.
Yeah.
And we'll tell you all about it.
Yeah, that's
at the end.
Foreshadowing. It's like Chekhov's gun.
But first, let me tell you about Casper mattresses.
Yeah. Have you ever wanted to sleep better and longer and from out of a box?
Right? Discount code, fuck you.
Do you want a mattress that comes at you like a coiled snake when you open the box? Get yourself a Casper mattress.
You know why it's so comfortable? It contains the soul of one dead child. Casper mattress. He's friendly, but he'll help you sleep.
Yep.
Anyway, offer code Rothrock will get you negative 12% off of your mattress. So you will pay 12% more, and that money will go directly to us.
Right.
Casper.com/Rothrock.
Sleep in your Casper on your MeUndies.
Oh, God. I forgot about MeUndies. And I'm wearing MeUndies
But first-
today, actually.
Drink your AG1 Active Greens
Oh, God.
You lost me
veggie
now.
powder shit.
This is when I turn podcasts off. I
Yeah.
think. Okay.
Well,
we're not
you can turn
sponsored
this
by any of
podcast
this.
off
Yeah,
and play Raid Shadow Legends.
Yeah.
No, stop it. We're not sponsored by any of these fucks. And
Don't
I can
use
say
any-
that.
Don't use any of those
Yeah.
products, I promise you. They're all terrible.
Get $10 in free bets at gamblingkings.com. Also, if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800 I don't like to gamble anymore. That's what I love is all the ones that have gambling ads, and then like there's a longer disclaimer about gambling and who you should call if you have a gambling problem.
If you have a gambling problem, call 7 or 11.
Yeah. Call me. I'll take that action. Anyway, Cynthia Rothrock,
Yes.
Sworn to Justice from 1996.
Mm-hmm.
We watched it.
That is correct. We did, in fact, watch it.
There are some other people in it of note. I mean,
Mako.
A couple. Yeah, Mako's back.
He's
again.
back a second week in a
Yeah,
row.
it's two Makos in a row.
I will
Mako
note this
row.
is also from one of the writers of last week's movie.
Well, there you go. Which was under that one. I forgot the name already.
Red Sun Rising.
Yeah, that one.
Yes.
Yeah, that one.
Who else in it? Dawson's Mom is in it. Mary Margaret Hume. I'm just saying she's somebody you might recognize from a couple things.
Also, a couple one-scene actors. You've got Brad Dourif showing up as a guy.
Yeah,
on trial.
It's weird because like his case is muttered about in the background of this movie for a while, and then when he shows up, it's almost like, oh hey, it's finally that guy, and it's creepy guy Brad Dourif, and it's just like, okay, I mean, good get, I guess.
Yeah, and also Walter Koenig is in it.
Yep.
And he's just like, what accent is he doing?
I
'Cause
think
he's
it's
not
supposed
really
to be
doing the Russian
German,
one.
Austrian.
Boy, he's doing
Yeah.
all of the accents.
At first, I thought he was just straight up Chekhoving, and I was like, well, that's weird, and that's not your actual. We all know that's not your actual accent at this point.
He doesn't spend too long in any particular
Yeah,
one.
I think it was just like, oh, I'm a professor of psychology. Oh, yes, I will do my bad Freud. Yeah.
So, two things.
Uh-huh.
One, the plot of this movie is that this woman's sister and nephew are killed in her home.
Yeah, she's coming
She
home from
stops
something.
it.
Yeah.
But somehow in the process of this, she gets psychic powers and becomes and
Yeah, I mean, slowing down a little bit. She comes home, murdered body. She's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Well,
woe
no,
is me. Yeah.
I just want to get through
Yeah, sure,
a little
okay.
bit of the
All right.
plot
All
because
right.
I have two things to say about the plot. So she gets psychic powers somehow by
Hitting her head on
hitting
tree.
her head, escaping from the killers,
Mhm.
and then becomes a vigilante who is also a lawyer. Well, not really a lawyer, a criminal psychologist,
Correct.
witness.
Yeah, like the expert testimonial person they call.
Yes, who uses both of these to try and solve the murder of her sister.
Uh-huh.
The other thing is, this movie's batshit, man. This movie's fucking crazy.
It is.
especially for a Cynthia Rothrock joint.
Yes.
Normally Rothrock joints are straightforward. There's kicking, there are outfits, there's more kicking, and then even more kicking.
Yeah.
And then a final outfit and
she's-
final kicking.
Yeah, and she squares off against some dude who actually knows martial arts at the end,
Right.
and you have a longer fight.
Right. This is
I think at some point, I think it was all right. There's other things that should probably just right off the bat. Let's just get it out of here.
Yeah.
This is for whatever reason, this is like sexy Cynthia Rothrock movie time. It is like cleavage galore, short skirts, and then eventually straight up nudity.
It's like if Rothrock just made a Skinamax movie.
Yeah, kind of.
yeah.
And I think it was towards
And
the
it's-
second version of the softcore porning that goes on for way too long. When I was
Yeah.
like, this is basically the Room version of a Cynthia Rothrock movie,
Yeah,
where
It
it's
kind
just
of is.
And it's not Sedarisy at all.
No.
So we'll get that out of the way. It's not like Action Lady does sexy scenes, and it's like kind of wink, wink, nudge, nudge. No, this is like if you're thinking sex scenes, you're thinking more like The Room, just like you said, where
Yeah.
it's like
There's no navel humping, but
Yeah.
Right.
it is. The music is even eerily similar. Like, I don't know how to describe the music for the sex scenes in The Room, but you guys have seen it. You know what it sounds like. You know the
It sounds
backing
wrong.
track. It sounds wrong, and it sounds wrong in this.
Yeah.
But this is according to the internet the first time that Cynthia Rothrock did love scenes in any movie.
Apparently,
So they're like,
Yeah.
well, let's get 2 for the price of 1, I guess.
sure.
I guess.
I mean,
But they also like just
ham it up.
her outfits are just like not right. You know? Like they're like the outfits that the chicks put on in porn before they take the outfits off.
Right. So the first, we're completely bypassing the plot, but these
Yeah.
things need to be said. So when she comes home for the first time after her sister and nephew have been murdered in her house, she comes home to the house and she's wearing this. I don't know how to describe the outfit, but it's got like. It would be low cut, but it's got a bunch of like pieces of fabric that go up to like a choker thing on her neck. It's way too sexy to be going home to the house where your family members were murdered
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, I mean it's basically most of the outfits she wears are like everyday, yoga instructor gets a deep dicking by random guy porn outfits. I'm just
Okay,
saying, like,
fair.
but this was like, like
In
the
the
legal counsel comes home, and it's just like,
it's like
I mean,
you
I'm
know,
just
you've
saying,
got
like,
business casual on
Right.
Friday. She's got business sexy like every day.
right,
It is what her outfits are. They're business sexy.
Business sexual.
Yeah. It's weird. It's so
Yeah.
weird.
I'm just saying, like, most of it are like, okay, well, that's just kind of, I mean, I'm. Whatever. I mean, I don't want to say like slutty clothing, but there is a difference between like provocative clothing and then like just
Right.
bordering on like, okay, that's almost like tearaway pants for the porn industry.
Well,
They're
We'll say
they're
this,
not
there's-
work appropriate.
There's nothing wrong with being slutty.
Yes,
We'll say
that's-
that.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm not
This-
shaming in that way.
That said, this clothing is a little bit slutty.
Well, it's just like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with being sexy, but like being sexy at a funeral is wrong. Like that's how this whole thing feels. Where it's just like, no, you shouldn't be wearing that right now. Like it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And it's not like we're like, oh no, we don't like sexy stuff. We're like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like where you are, what you're wearing doesn't make sense.
For the record, if you've watched 593 episodes and you don't know that we're into sexy babes, we're into sexy babes.
And I guess maybe it's just like we're just not. And also, it's like Cynthia Rothrock. It's like your sister getting all glammed up and sexy. You're like, no, she's not supposed to be like. That's not.
I would like to
even
say-
though your sister is allowed to and she should, you look at it. You're like, no, that's not right. It's not. No, this is not the Cynthia Rothrock I know.
I will agree with your final statement there, but it's pretty hot.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
that's the problem. Is
I've been on the
Also-
internet today. I don't think the world has a problem with what you just said in the first part
Well,
either.
I mean,
so.
not the.
I know, but I'm
okay,
just-
not the sister stuff, but the Cynthia Rothrock.
Well,
being
no,
Just
I
to make
sexy.
it clear,
understand. I understand.
is
because of how Cynthia Rothrock has been presented to us through her entire career.
Sure.
This is like, whoa, what's going on with Cynthia
It's-
Rothrock?
It is
here?
bracing.
It would be
Yeah.
look. I'm not wishing. I hope that like somehow us saying like, oh wow, Cynthia looks really good in this movie and stuff like we didn't somehow physically made it. Like I feel guilty watching this movie. I was like, we made it happen.
We
by
couldn't have.
I
It
know.
happened in
I
1996.
understand
we're
this. I
safe.
know we didn't make this happen. This isn't like tweeting people and stuff like that. But this feels as weird and wrong. And I am not saying neither person is not attractive,
Yeah.
but this feels as weird and wrong if like you suddenly found out like Michelle Yeoh made a softcore porn movie, and you're just
Yeah.
like. She did, and also why? And no, like
I'm gonna go watch that if it
well,
exists.
yes, so you understand what I'm. Okay, maybe
I know exactly what you mean, though.
She's like, no, that's ass kicker galore. Like she's the lady I'm calling on the team. I'm not hitting on her because she could kill me with her pinky. That kind of scares me. I'm sorry, like just a little bit.
Yeah, but this is just it's weird.
Yeah.
All right. This is the weirdest Cynthia Rothrock
It is very
movie we've
unusual.
watched.
Well, and not just for that reason.
Yeah.
Also because she's a weird psychic, and the tone of this movie is all over the place.
Yes.
It's like,
oh my God.
This is Dead Zone Batman.
plus wacky hijinks.
Well, that too, yeah.
And the room's love scenes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is one of those movies that tonally has no idea what it wants to be, and that will come forth very soon.
So
as
backing
we
up,
discuss
let's
this
discuss
movie.
how she gets her power. So she comes home, finds sister and nephew murdered.
Yeah, I mean, this movie starts right with this.
yeah, like
there is no hesitation.
Yeah, we were just like, like we normally do. We're like, oh, okay, credits and stuff. It's like, oh, is that a Volvo she's driving? And it's just like, do. Oh, she's home, and you see like lights go off, and as we always do, we're like, we're gonna try to guess the plot. I'm like, I think it's a red herring surprise party. Like you sense danger because Cynthia Rothrock, but she's gonna open the door and surprise, happy, whatever.
I was on board for that.
Yeah, but no,
Until it was too late to be on board for that.
Yeah, it was a surprise party, but not the kind you want. I mean, there were multiple people there. Some of them just weren't alive.
It's a surprise your sister is dead party.
Right.
The worst type of party.
A surprise wake.
Oh no.
No.
Anywho, but yeah, she comes home, like finds dead nephews, then sees sister somehow was like literally in the middle of the floor. Like somehow she found dead nephew was like kind of behind a houseplant first, and then like
well, she noticed that there was a houseplant that was awry, that was knocked over. So maybe she was looking at all the rest of the houseplants.
Yeah, and nephew's just straight up dead. But she picks up sister, and she gets like a make it stop something, death rattle. And then the guys in hosiery come out. I mean, they got like pantyhose.
The pantyhose.
Oh, is that the guy
mask.
that sang that?
Son, you got
didn't
a
have to
panty
cut
on
you
your
off
head.
song.
Yeah.
I always just call it like the been caught stealing
Sure.
disguise.
Yeah. But yes, I think 3 of them come out with that on, and one guy's just like, I don't care. I'm not putting those legs on my face.
No.
And it's a pantyhose. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but he's just like, no witnesses. I don't care. And she goes back and forth beating them up with them kind of overpowering her because there's 4 of them.
Well, it's
And
funny
one of
because
them has a gun.
they keep picking her up, and then so she's able to do like you're holding me, so I could do fancy kicks that I couldn't do normally from gravity. She does it so many times that I was like expecting the guys to be like, stop picking her up so she can kick us.
Yeah. And she also has heels on,
Yeah.
and man, she gets one guy in the thigh.
Oh yeah, she stilettos
And one guy in the foot.
Yeah.
But she eventually is kind of getting her ass kicked and has to basically defenestrate herself.
Yeah.
Out.
But, well, also, I'll just mention the editing is for a Cynthia Rothrock movie. They're editing around it as if she can't fight, so I can only assume that the stuntmen that she's fighting suck.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like that scene especially is just like edited to shit. And it's not nothing's cohesive, and it's really frustrating to watch.
It's one of those movies. It mildly suffers from the '90s flash editing.
Yeah,
and I don't know what else to call it, but that like, we're going to see the same thing, like style bullshit.
Just a little of that MTV.
But it also
thing.
calms down later on, so it's not the worst.
Yeah, I was going to say I've seen examples that are just. I mean,
yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I adore the movie Hackers, but the way that movie is edited can eat a dick. Like I'm just saying, like that movie makes me happy because of how stupid it is, but like overall, like that style of editing, ugh.
It's a little sickening.
Yeah.
Counterpoint: Hackers still rules.
It does, absolutely. Yeah, all of the good outweighs that editing flaw.
Agreed. But yeah, she has to defenestrate herself out the window. He conveniently shoots the door first, the sliding glass door, so she can dive through it. Mm-hmm. And then because she's above, basically she's on like a cliffside.
Yeah, it's like one of those stilt houses in California.
Yeah, and she hits the railing and does the jump for the bushes thing as she jumps off of the roof because the guys are shooting at her. And
it then basically proceeds to hot rod down the mountainside. Like just
yeah, well, she hits the tree and she's going down, and they very clearly show her head smack like 2 branches
Yep.
as she goes down.
Yeah, she only hit 2 branches of the ugly tree on the way
Yeah,
down.
and then
Kidding,
and
that's
yes,
not true at all.
and then she hot rods down the hill.
Yeah,
and
it's just it
eventually
goes a
is just-
little too long, and yeah.
And is this where she has her first psychic flash?
Yeah,
Yes.
she
She's holding a
she picked up
brooch.
this like
Cameo.
Victorian brooch thing. She picked up
cameo.
of her, yeah. And then she's kind of like passed out with that clutched in her hand. So I think as she's starting to pass out, she's getting her first dead zone flash, where she's seeing the murder happen from the pendant.
Right.
But
Yeah.
she's also going unconscious. So I think she just wakes up the next day or somewhere.
We
and
don't.
found
We
her.
don't. See
They don't
her
really-
wake up. They just deliver her to the house in
Yeah.
the sex.
It's her
secretary.
boss driving her to the house, and she's like, "Thanks for doing this for me."
Oh yeah, they probably just been from the funeral because she's all wrapped up like she's just been to sexy funeral time. I mean,
Oh,
she's
it
got
could-
the
It could. Yeah.
she's got the little whatever sad
Yeah.
veil on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't
even
realize.
though
yeah.
it's colorful, it's not black. It's like you should probably go with the black one if you're in mourning. But anywho,
She's not exactly known for her proper attire
Understood.
throughout.
yeah. But yeah, she gets dropped off and goes back in the house, and that's when this is when we meet the creepy detective guy who keeps showing up.
Also, she comes back in, and there's still the outlines of the bodies on the
Right.
floor.
Yeah, they've like duct taped outlined them onto
Yeah.
the ground.
like electrical tape or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
weird. And why would they still be there? I don't know.
Yeah, well, the detective shows up and be like, "This is technically still a crime scene." She's like, "It's my house. You've had it for 2 weeks. Get out." And he gives her back the brooch and yada yada yada.
But he just walks in the fucking door like he owns the place.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Well, I mean,
Well, she hates it too. She
I
calls
would
him out
shoot
on
that
it.
man.
yeah, I mean, as he said, I don't think anyone was supposed to still be there. She just was like, "Enough is enough. I'm
Sure.
going home." But
Yeah.
whatever.
I want my
understand.
house back.
Maybe still
And
not.
he's like, this is still an active crime scene. And it's
Yeah.
like 2 weeks later. What's your fucking problem?
right. But yeah, I think, and then she just basically like gets homesick or bored or whatever. It's like, I just need to go back to work.
Yeah,
And-
she's.
yeah.
I mean, the
I need
tape
to
is
stay
still there
busy,
from
yeah.
her dead sister. So
But yeah, she goes back to work where this is where the boss that dropped her off earlier. I don't know. Let's just get her character out of the way. Is because like this whole movie like sets people up like they all have ulterior dark motives, and this is no exception because this lady is shown following her multiple times throughout the movie, like
Yeah.
at and like especially spying on her, macking on the dude she's about to meet because she meets a sexy lawyer dude who. Immediately is just like, oh, you, and oh, you, and
oh, they so when they go to shake hands, they shock each other because I guess guy's been dragging his feet across the carpet.
it's
or something.
electric.
Boogie.
Yeah.
And yeah, but she's in addition to the just weird stuff that she goes out of her way to do, she also most of the time is just giving suspicious looks to things and like her stage direction was just be suspicious of everything and just act like you've got something going on.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we can wrap up her storyline. She follows her around for a while, and then eventually, it doesn't really matter. But she's like, "Oh, I'm going to do you a favor. I'm going to go get your car." Blah blah blah, and then someone has done the old mafia special in the car,
Oh, yeah,
and
that's-
blows up her boss, which somehow like blows her out of the car with the door still closed.
Oh no, she was unlocking
When
the
she
door.
put the key in, that triggered
okay, I
the
thought it was
explosion.
in the
Yeah.
ignition. Okay,
she
that
put the key
no.
in the door and
makes
then it
a
exploded.
lot
yeah.
more sense. Okay, all right, but yes,
Which also is we see it because she psychically sees it.
yeah, she's
'Cause
got,
she's-
got
yeah.
her purse
Yeah.
or whatever.
So that's how Cynthia Rothrock's powers sort of work. Is she touches an item and then she gets a psychic flash.
Yeah.
And she's at that point in the movie, she is holding her boss's purse
Yeah.
because she is hiding from
Yeah.
her boyfriend.
But I'm just saying we can wrap up her entire storyline because she's been creepily following her multiple times throughout this movie, and then she gets blown up by someone that was trying to kill Cynthia Rothrock, and then she's just like, I was jealous, and she's like, oh, you love the sexy lawyer guy too, and she's like, no, I loved you, and it's like, well, okay, shocker, it was a secret lesbian plot point. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I guess that was a thing. Shocking in 1996.
Yeah.
I don't know.
well, we loved using our LGBT folks as just like tragedies back in the 90s and
I see.
early 2000s.
But yeah, I'm just saying that's her entire storyline is that she's just a red herring.
She's a redheaded red herring.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah, she looks like redheaded baby New Earth, and I kind of dig her. But I'm just saying her character's entire plot line is that she's just lurking in the background, and it turns out she was just jealous. And that's all.
Yeah, we thought she was jealous of the boyfriend, but it was jealous of her.
So anyway, that's
everybody pretty much acts like they're a bad guy, like they're on team bad.
Well, even
in this movie,
I just said she meets sexy lawyer guy. He comes walking in. Also, when they have another thing, like the first couple times they meet, she is holding candy, and then just like proceeds to like Kathy or something, and just drop the candy everywhere.
All right, for the children out there, Kathy was a comic strip that was popular in the 90s.
Not even.
Sorry.
Like earlier than that. 70s, 80s.
Hey,
Yeah.
I apologize, okay?
And she would go ack a lot.
Yeah, go ack and
She would.
blah. Freak out and stuff. But
If
I'm
you
just,
have a tattoo of Kathy, you should email the BMFcast.
if you have one of Ziggy, too, I would like to see that as well.
If you have a tattoo of Kathy, that thing's wrinkly by now. I'm sorry.
You need to get it touched up. B, you need to send us a picture.
That thing is all fuzzy now. It's a little, It's been a while for old Kathy.
Anywho, sorry for the old man reference there, but just they do this dumb sight gag where whenever they first meet.
Let me show you my Lockhorns tattoo, by the way.
Get a nice Dagwood sandwich. Old Beetle Bailey's up to it again. Anywho, but yes, every time this guy shows up, she's like holding M&Ms and something and just goes blah and like throws them everywhere. It's just another one of the dumb things in this movie.
Yeah. Again, this movie doesn't really know what it wants to be.
No, it doesn't.
And the vigilante part comes in because eventually she's just this is before she has started her relationship with lawyer guy.
Yeah, she just met him and like, oh, I gotta go. Can't
She
give up.
Yeah, she just goes to the convenience store because she needs something.
Yeah.
And
who doesn't need to hit a bodega once in a while?
Yeah, and she picks and there's a hat sitting on the counter, and she picks up the hat, and it's the store owner's hat.
Oh, it's a bodega hat.
Yeah, and he's being a bodega hat. My God, you son of a bitch! But she has a psychic vision of him with a gun to his head, and she's like, "Oh my God!" And then suddenly, as she picks up the phone to dial it, somebody comes out and gets a gun on her, and they take her into the back room where the scene that she has just had a psychic vision of is happening right there.
And this scene, this is when it was like, well, I don't know what kind of movie we were making before, but turn on the wacky meter now.
Yeah.
For this one scene.
Yeah.
We proceed to have a better shot fight scene than the first one, because at least they show some things, but it's still a lot of have her throw the punch and then cut to the guy flopping around after the hit.
There is one guy he does it twice in this fight scene. He Stone Cold Steve Austin's after receiving, The Rock after receiving a Stone Cold Steve Austin the Stunner. He does that move where he like flips himself up so that he's on his own head and then flops over like he's just super overselling the move.
It's a huge wrestling flop. Think like if you don't know wrestling, think like Ric Flair or all those gifs of The Rock falling over and flailing like an idiot. It's that kind of thing. But also, we get wacky sound effects in this.
Yep.
Yes.
One guy gets a lion roar when he screams at Cynthia Rothrock.
One guy gets the elephant trumpet.
When she steps on his toe,
Yeah.
he does the elephant trumpet, and I think there's a slide whistle snuck in there too.
Probably.
Somewhere.
There's a lot of like cartoon sound effects in this
Yeah.
one. Also, the guy in the background, who is an Asian fella, is like sometimes excitedly talking in his native language with subtitles, and then sometimes he's just saying things like "holy cannoli," and it's like putting Chinese subtitles
like
on
Cantonese
it.
subtitles on
and
the
it's
screen.
just like, all right.
It's so weird. It's such a bizarre tone shift in the middle of this. Like,
And nothing else in this movie matches
This
that.
is almost
And
like
keep
a
in mind, this
Batman 66 fight scene. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like
Right.
it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's just bonks and zows.
And keep in mind, this is a movie that started out with Cynthia Rothrock walking into her own home and finding dead family members, crying over them, and then being attacked mid-cry.
Well, it's a lot like
And
Batman
now we're-
66, actually, now that you think
Yeah,
about it.
and now we're in a fight scene where
wait a minute.
they have
Is
elephant
this just
trumpets
a Batman movie?
and zoinks, and some guy commenting on the side like a little cousin or something. It's
I'm just saying, at some point in
It's
time, if you
weird.
think about it, the origin story of Batman 66 is he still watched his parents die, and it still turned into that reality. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
you're not wrong there
Yeah.
either. Yeah, it's just it's weird. But anyway, she beats the hell out of them, saves the guy. She does do a cool move with duct tape. Because she
does.
grabs a thing of duct tape and yanks it out and is able to like do the submission moves and like gets it around the one guy's wrist and wraps him up, and then the other guy attacks and she's able to like slide it over and then wrap that guy
Yeah,
up.
she just kind of human centipedes them, like with the duct tape.
But
I mean,
that,
not quite.
I mean, one guy's head was right to the one guy's ass. That was the joke at the end.
and that's just
That's
like
right,
one of
we
those.
do get a fart noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is one of those moves like I haven't seen that anywhere else.
Yeah.
Where somebody has just grabbed duct tape and used that to basically subdue their attackers.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes
pretty
you'll
cool.
see it with like a rope or something.
Yeah.
You know, or like a chain, but it's a good touch.
Yeah.
There is some good shit in this movie.
I know. It's so bizarre. But yeah, so that scene ends, and then, from this point on, whenever they talk about the news, they're going to talk about like, there's the California vigilante is out doing
The Santa
something.
Marta vigilante.
Santa Marta
Yeah.
vigilante, yeah.
I guess they're in Santa Marta, California. I don't.
Yeah. But
They're in L.A.
That's
also-
Spanish for Saint Marta.
Great job.
what name did you say?
Marta.
Oh, never mind. Oh, the Atlanta Rapid Transit System.
Yes.
Okay.
It's my safe word.
Yes. Also, at some point around now is when she goes to visit Walter Koenig and is like, hey, you need to test to see if I'm psychic. And apparently she fails all the tests.
Yeah,
But he says,
like he
like-
almost failed on purpose or something, right?
Yeah,
Is that what
she-
it is?
well, he
She
says,
wasn't buying into it, so it wasn't working.
Yeah, he says like either psychics either score the worst or the best on this test. Like if you're the middle of the road, you're not psychic. If you score really low, it's because you're resisting it. If you score really high, it's because you're like zenned out on it or whatever. So
I just realized it's the same reasoning from Into the Spider-Verse, where you like got 100% wrong, and you're like, that means you knew all the answers. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
But the tests that they're showing her are just the dumbest shit.
yeah,
And
it's
they've got like, pick the ball from under the cups.
Well, some of it's like the Bill Murray from Ghostbusters stuff, where it's just like it's a circle of square, just wavy
yeah
lines.
with the playing cards and everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
um,
and it's
and
just her comedically getting all of it wrong.
yeah, and you're sort of like, sorry, pregnant pause, almost died. When she's doing the tests, it's sort of like implied that she's about to get them right. I don't know why. It just like I just got the impression that she was supposed to be getting them right. But then, like I said, all the test scores were wrong, and then she runs into Loverboy as well. Isn't that where she runs into Loverboy is coming out of this meeting?
I think so, yes. And drop some more.
It drops some
Candy.
more candy. Yeah.
Yeah.
That whole psychic testing scene completely unnecessary.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That was just like
Does
Walter
absolutely nothing.
Koenig said yes for some reason, and
And
like,
we got to
ooh.
figure out how to get
yeah,
it in here.
they probably wanted him to be the cop, the undercover cop guy, and then he didn't say yes for a while, so they were like, ah, shit.
Yeah.
Also, he's not available for as long as we need that guy.
Yeah. Yeah. So from here, there's a meeting she has with, or not a meeting, but like a public event where it's Dan the Man, or Dan Thiemann,
Yes,
who
Dan,
is running for
Dan
running
quote
his
unquote
man.
Thiemann.
the DA, running for mayor.
Mayor?
I guess.
It's mayor. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I guess the assistant DA is there, which is this lady that Rothrock has been testifying against. And then the lawyer it eventually turns out to be Brad Dourif, but we don't know that. But
Right.
they're just arguing about how she was the expert witness for this case. And she was saying how it was childhood trauma, the usual thing. But back then we were like, oh, that's no excuse. And so the assistant DA is yelling at her that she's going to get a guilty guy out of jail just because he was abused as a kid. And then the other lawyer is like, hey, we really need to juice up how bad it was for him as a kid, and she's like, I'm not going to do that. But,
Right.
there's a whole thing. It's like it's setting up all this stuff. But her storming out of the party is what causes boyfriend to follow out and then become boyfriend.
Yep.
Because I guess they go straight to his place.
I think so.
Yeah, there's a scene
And-
that's deleted because isn't this when he's like, oh, sorry I spilled wine on your clothes or something like that.
Yeah,
that
that's
never
right.
happened.
Yeah,
It's
and
just-
she's wearing a completely different outfit as
Right.
well. But yeah,
One of them spilled wine on.
I
Maybe
think-
they both spilled wine on
I
each
think
other.
it's just
I don't
poor
know.
editing. I think it's from a different day or night or whatever.
But either way, this is her checking out his pad, where
This man is full ass weeb.
he's a
Like,
fucking weeb and a
he's-
half.
He's 90s like seriously into Japan weeb though.
He's a
not
sword
anime.
guy.
He's a sword guy.
He's a
yeah.
fucking sword guy. He's got like the swords on the thing, and then he's got like a little action figure that she breaks the arm off of
Yep.
by accident.
He's got a Tengu mask.
Yeah, he's got a gigantic Tengu mask up above like the fireplace.
We know what a Tengu mask is though, so we should tread carefully.
I've played Neo. I know what a Tengu is, but anyway.
What?
Yeah, but anyway, he's got like the anime girls as battleship statues along the one wall, and
The entire set of the Japanese World War II fleet.
yeah,
No, I mean,
All
in,
this-
in reality, his back wall is nothing but like the paper walls that are done mural style. I mean,
Yep.
he has like an entire mural
Yeah.
done in his back. Yeah, he's a weeb with money. Let's just say that. Like,
yeah.
he doesn't have a silken Goku. It's like it's a it's a silken like kimono or something.
Yeah.
And he just walks around the house and
yeah.
Charlie
But
Brown.
then he does like their foreplay is basically doing like Tai Chi and other bullshit like
Yeah, so there's like
moves at each other.
I don't remember why he knows that she's a martial artist, or why either of them knows. But this is their flirting thing. And it's actually, even though it's weird for a Cynthia Rothrock movie, like we stated, it's pretty hot. Like,
Yeah.
um,
This is the one where it's really like, oh damn, yeah, Cynthia Rothrock is a woman, isn't she?
yeah.
You know,
well, I mean,
she's not just like a fighting machine
the,
thing.
the other thing is that it's just this setup is like what you think works when you're 12.
It is.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, I mean,
Why it
because she
appeals to me.
Well, I just mean like he's like, I know, I feel like you know some martial arts. I know some martial arts too, and she's like, well, show me some moves. It's like, well, I'm wearing like a business dress and stuff. It's not really. Well, you could just take it off. She's like, okay, and just
Yeah.
comes back in her lingerie and
Yeah.
it's like, check this out. I'm gonna do some splits in the air and stuff. Well,
Like, that's the dream for
I
a fucking line like
understand.
that to work.
I understand. I just okay.
I mean, yes, you're not wrong, but it's also
Yeah, but yes, the way he ends up kissing her is basically getting her in a half Nelson. Yeah, and
not recommended, but she was into it.
yeah,
I guess I'll just be a.
Yep.
That's a half Nelson.
and then it leads to a longer sex scene than any of us was expecting.
Oh yeah, we get almost full Rothrock
Yeah.
in this scene. Like, it's just shy of being full frontal nudity from
Yeah.
Miss Cynthia.
And it's all on a
It's-
bearskin rug.
It is like he picks her up and shows her ass to us, and then sets her down on
Yeah,
the
they
bearskin
keep
rug.
cutting to the window a lot.
Yeah.
Which we find out later is because the lady is outside
Yeah.
looking jealously.
I
in.
thought he was just gonna pick her up and
huck her out the window.
throw her through the window.
I
thought he was
Rothrock out the window.
that'd be hilarious. But I thought he was just gonna.
Man, that'd be a hell of a
but-
heel turn. Just like
Honestly, we thought all of them were bad guys, so
Yeah.
it's not.
I thought he was just gonna go full pressed hams on the window with
Yeah.
her. Though.
Yeah, put them on the glass.
Yeah, put him on the glass. Exactly. But no,
Isn't that a hockey thing?
It's a Sir Mix-a-Lot thing, sir.
All right, okay. Sorry.
But no, he gently lays her down by the fire
Yeah,
and rocks her Roth.
sure. Well said.
Her Roth IRA.
Oh my god, this fucking movie.
It's
Oh,
done
man.
weird things to us.
Yeah, but now they're best buds, and
They're more than best buds. They're
yeah,
fucking.
Yeah, they're fuck buddies. Best
Yeah.
fuck buddies.
Yeah, she goes in, and we haven't mentioned Mako, who is like the blind newspaper salesman in her lobby.
Yeah.
And
That's not a euphemism. That's,
yeah, and,
in the
and
lobby
he's,
of her
and
building.
he's like telling her how you've entered a
You
new
smell
relationship.
like you've been
Yeah,
fucking.
Yeah, you smell like jizz. Didn't he even give you a washcloth to clean up?
Right.
Not even a
He
wet
does,
wipe.
he does mention that she has like a new perfume and
Yeah.
that she's smiling and all this stuff. We're making up the stuff about jizz.
It smells like
Fucking-
it smells like Chanel 69.
Oh my god. Yeah. But anyway, like he is inconsequential as well. He's just one where it's like, all right, let's just film a bunch of scenes with Mako and
They're fun.
in the hallway. Yeah, I mean they're kind of more fun than most of it, but
I like them better than the psychic doctor scenes.
yeah. Yeah, I guess at this point is this when we actually goes to the trial, and we have to deal with Brad Dourif, and she's giving testimony, and then she's getting cross-examined, and the assistant DA who had given her shit earlier like throws the knife down on the
An unbagged murder weapon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just with a little tag on it, like it's at an
Yeah.
antique store.
I mean it's a fucking knife.
Like it's at the fucking
Yeah.
flea market because it's a flea market ass knife.
Yeah, it really is. But she slams it down in there. She's like, did his childhood trauma bring this knife in to stab that cop? And then Cynthia Rothrock picks it up and then has the psychic flashback to see what happened, where it's actually that the man saw the cop as his father and it was manslaughter or whatever. But,
Psychics were a big thing in the 90s, weren't they?
yeah.
Didn't we have a bunch of psychic shows like that fucking liar that had a daytime show?
Oh, what, like Miss Cleo?
The other one, the white dude.
John Edwards, the I See Dead People guy.
Was it John Edwards?
I don't know.
I think there
I
was
mean, there was the
another guy
I talked to your dead relatives through
through the magic of television.
whatever it is, deduction. It's like reasonable. There's a word for it where you just ask no questions.
It's
and
called lying.
Well, I understand,
Yeah.
but there's a tactic.
Social
for it.
deduction.
Yeah.
Social deduction.
There you
Yeah.
go.
I think.
AKA lying to grieving people.
Yeah.
But it was big in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Is that why we had
It's going to
I
be
don't know.
big again in the future, I believe.
Yeah, I don't. I get yes, and I don't know why it went away. Aside from everyone just being like, "Oh yeah, that's bullshit."
I think we got the internet.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like a
Yeah.
lot of the because I mean, remember growing
Of
up.
all the jobs the internet took,
No, I just
psychics.
No,
They were first on the block.
Do you not remember growing up? We had remember the Time Life Mysteries books where it's he took a coat hanger and pointed it at Stonehenge in the shape of one of the symbols and it knocked him out, and there's all that kind of shit. And it's nowadays it's click click click. Oh, Snopes bullshit. Anyway, all right, moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying none of that.
a grand
mystery.
era of skepticism was ushered in by the internet. Thank you.
Yeah, having all knowledge at our fingertips was a mistake. Those poor psychics.
Maybe we had more fun, didn't we? When we didn't know shit, when we just wondered.
Yeah.
I like knowing shit. So
Oh, do you?
fuck it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nah.
I like knowing shit and being silly, which is why this podcast is great.
Yeah, something like that. But
So yeah,
But so she basically goes into this trance, kind of, and then tells them, "Oh, this is what really happened," and I see that, and the judge declares a mistrial, and
But she basically
and for some reason she ends up in an empty room with Brad Dourif.
yeah, she gets one of the bailiffs to let her into the holding room where he is, and I don't think he was established having been shown as being part of the murder of her sister. before
Definitely
this.
not,
No.
because I would have recognized Brad.
He kind of
Dourif.
has memorable eyes.
But in her flashbacks, she realizes that he was there that night, but he ran out of the room before anyone even attacked her.
yeah, he RUN and OFT.
Yeah, and she's trying to figure out she's like, what the fuck happened? Who started all this? And he can't really tell her.
yeah, because he was whacked out.
Yeah,
right?
because he's whacked out and he got kicked out. But he's like, you need to go find Eugene. He's the one.
It's in Oregon.
Yeah. And so that's the point when she gets kicked out of there because the assistant DA comes in. What the fuck are you doing in here? Kicks her out. Also, at some point, she killed one of the other guys who killed her sister.
she did. I don't remember.
She basically just catches him mugging someone,
That's
and he.
But
and,
she didn't actually kill that guy, did she?
Oh, yeah.
No. Oh no, she didn't kill him at the scene. He went back to his apartment and killed him there.
Yeah, he got back to
right.
the apartment. She followed him up, snuck in, and is able to he's about to attack her with a chair.
Yeah.
She's able to slam a door into him, and then he drops the chair, and she kicks him, and he gets impaled on the chair.
Yep.
And then
how did she find that guy?
she just ran? She came up on him. He was
Yeah.
just randomly mugging someone.
I think so. Yeah.
He couldn't stop criming. So, But yeah, she kills him, so she knows that he's dead.
Right, 1 down, 4 to go.
Yeah. But then,
I don't remember how she gets to where she finds the other
Yeah,
ones. I mean,
and-
she at some point she gets to the auto shop place. That's for her big vigilante move.
yeah, because let's talk about Eugene real quick.
Okay.
Where he's just this little guy, but apparently he runs shit, because there's some guy running the chop shop, and he's like, all right, here's the deal. We're going to take a big cut of whatever you're making here because we run things in this town, blah,
Well,
blah,
he's
blah.
like, we're going to run a chop shop through your legitimate auto shop.
We already know that you're running a chop shop. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're going to run through here. We're going to take this amount of money, and you're going to deal with it. And then the guy's like, no, actually,
the guy
I used
laughs
to run
at
in
him.
Chicago.
Yeah.
This ain't shit. And then he gets his ass kicked.
This ball peen hammer says otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, little Eugene just like,
Kicks the shit out of him.
yeah, he kind of comes out like a spider monkey. Yeah.
Apparently, he played a Ninja Turtle
Oh, okay.
Eugene did?
in one of the early movies.
Okay.
Early 90s. I believe in Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze.
I see.
He was Raphael.
I
Well,
see.
He did defenestrate a man in this movie.
Yes, he kicks that dude out like through the
Office
metal
window. Yeah.
office window grate thing, and then he lights something. He heats something up. It looks like nail clippers.
Yeah, I think it's got
It
the,
is.
Like like the nail file part of the nail
I think
clippers.
that's exactly what it is.
So it's not the nail file part. It's just the, how it's got like a handle?
Yeah.
You squeeze the handle. It's just the handle part that he's flipped out, and he rams it, heats it up, and rams it underneath the guy's fingernail.
Yeah,
That's fucking, that sounds awful.
yeah, it really sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't show. It's not like they show it start to go in, and then they cut away.
All of the response to this is a bit overboard because I mean, like he's also like while he's doing this, he's like, I'm going to kill your wife and your son and your dog and your grandma, and I'm going to fight them all. And,
Yeah,
And
you
it's
can
and then
just
I'm
say
going to
like,
cut your eyes out
Yeah.
after you've seen me
and
do
it's just
all
like,
this.
you could just give him a chance to say, okay,
yeah, you just kicked his ass.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
let him say yes, and then you can threaten him with all the other stuff.
Yeah. And-
he just got, I mean, nothing against the guy. I'm sure he's a great martial artist, and I probably wouldn't mess with it. But I mean, in a movie like this, and it's not the guy's fault. It's just when you cast somebody like this, it just comes across as like he's got the severe short man's complex. Or it's just like, it's just like, I'm gonna kill everybody.
What's really weird is they establish him as like this badass because he just fucking wrecks this giant guy.
Yes.
And then it pretty much tortures him a second later. And then the next time we see him, we have that lazy ass cop who had showed up at her house earlier, and he's talked to her a couple other times, just been like,
in hindsight, this scene makes no fucking sense now.
yeah. It really it's only to show the heel turn because this cop has been shown as like, oh, her buddy, and, oh, I'm still trying to find those killers. I'm working on it.
But even still, like it's pushing the boundaries of good police work. But it's like he's also fucking around with terrible people.
Well,
so
I
it's
mean,
not-
he shows up at this place and throws a rock at the light outside. And he's like, Eugene, come out and play. And Eugene comes out with like 30 guys. And then this cop just proceeds to beat the shit out of Eugene. And he's like, I run this town. I run this area. Like, this is my neck of the woods. Don't forget who's in charge. All that. And all the other guys are just like,
Standing there.
they're standing around watching him beat up Eugene, who we've established Eugene can kick people's asses, but for some reason like refuses to even do anything to this cop. And the cop like takes him behind a dumpster and beats the shit out of him more.
Right.
And he's like, nobody come around here or I'll fucking kill him. And it's just
Yeah, spoiler to the end of the movie. This is the guy they keep talking about. Like the guy, he's like they keep painting this like kingpin picture of like there's a guy above all of these random crimings and stuff, and
We're like, it must be Eugene.
yeah.
But no, it's
It
that
turns out,
guy.
it turns out it's
Corrupt
this guy. We also thought it might be I guess he's not the DA. I guess he'd be the public defender guy. I mean, I'm just saying
the
like,
guy running for mayor.
Yeah, no,
Dan Thiemann?
Well, Dan Thiemann, but also the bolo tie, scummy looking.
Oh,
Texan
yeah,
guy.
the other
I'm
lawyer
just saying,
guy.
like that guy. In hindsight, like he had to be the public defender because the other lady was the DA. So I'm just saying, like it's
no. He was a paid lawyer because they were
okay.
talking about how like he took that case pro bono
okay.
because there was probably a book deal in it and all
I
that.
guess. All right, fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's presented as like nobody but Cynthia Rothrock is trustworthy.
It's like
in this
Clue.
movie. Yeah.
Everybody's a fucking suspect.
Yeah, I mean, even the boyfriend seems like he's like, oh, he's too good to be true. There's something going on there, and especially because they keep having this lady look suspiciously at the two of them.
Yeah.
You're like,
But no, I mean this scene literally makes no sense because he comes and beats this guy up who fucking works for him. It turns out, and I'm pretty sure did at this point already. Like I don't. That's the thing is like the scene makes
Maybe
no
that's
sense
why he
in
let
hindsight.
let himself
Maybe
get
that's-
his ass beat because that's his boss. But also, he could kick the shit out of him.
I also was thinking like that he was taking him back behind the dumpster because like there was secretly like I'm gonna act like I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. You play it up, but I'm not really hitting you. Like
I don't know.
Who knows?
Yeah, it's weird. I
don't think they knew. I don't know why we were trying to figure
and
it out.
and it's also like, all right,
their
let's
job.
show the heel turn, even though like the heel turn at the end should be a surprise or something.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it works. It actually works better without that scene.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
but
I don't get it.
But either way, they show, okay, he's a bad guy now. We know that. Meanwhile, Rothrock has sex with that dude again.
Yeah, and they show it to us again.
Yeah.
This one is less sexy,
Yeah.
but it's still
during the day.
Yeah, we get a little.
Like they've just come back from playing tennis or some shit. So
Well, that's how she's
like
dressed. I
working-
mean, sexy
yeah,
tennis, but
yeah.
yeah.
yeah, probably all swampy. It's probably not good. But anyway,
Better than nothing. And
Yeah.
it's also with Cynthia Rothrock.
yeah,
so,
you got a point. But either way, yeah, another sex scene that goes on a bit too long.
of course.
And then they're outside on the deck, and he's just like, "Where you been going all night?" You know, and she's like, "You don't need to know anything about that." And he's like, "Well, you're covered in bruises." I know because I was just fucking you and I saw him.
Right. And also, here's this box of weird shit that I found. Would
Yeah.
you mind explaining
Yeah,
why
the-
you have a gun, the murder weapon from a mistrial, and this random cameo, please?
Yeah. A candlestick, a rope, a wrench.
Yep.
They were all in your study.
Yeah, and he's like, you
What's
went
with this
through all my
packet of
stuff."
mustard?
Yeah, she promptly breaks up with him because he went through her stuff and she can't trust him anymore.
Yeah.
And
Also,
doesn't-
he's telling her very good advice, and she's not listening.
yeah,
She's at the irrational
yeah,
point of
she's
this
doing the whole
movie.
"you don't know my life"
Yeah.
thing, and yeah, so they've broken up.
Yeah, this is what leads you to the earlier thing where he is showing up to like with flowers to apologize or whatever, and the boss lady goes and gets blown up by the car. I'm just saying this is what leads to that. Like, oh, I don't want to talk to him. Okay, I'll go get your car and meet you around back, and that's how she gets blown up. And
Yeah,
yada,
man,
yada.
she gets blasted away from that car.
Yeah.
because it blows up as she puts her key in, and so they got her half charred body, and yeah, and that's when she confesses that she was all about the Rothrock.
Speaking of half-charred bodies, there's another one we have to talk about.
Yeah, I guess as retribution, she goes and finds Eugene's. I don't know if it's a chop shop or whatever it is, but
I feel like
I think it's the chop shop.
I think she did the chop shop first, and this was retribution
yeah,
because like I'm pretty sure I don't know. It doesn't matter.
no,
It
I
doesn't
don't.
matter.
No, I think this was before.
Okay.
Yeah, or I'm sorry, this was after her friend got blown up. But
Maybe.
whatever. But she's like, she's just been kind of stopping crime and beating dudes up. Here, she's just like, nah, I'm here to murder some fuckers, because she sneaks in, starts pouring gasoline around, and then lights the place on fire, which has all these barrels around that say flammable.
Like you do.
Yeah, like you do, and ends up fighting like the one Asian guy in the group who's clearly done martial arts films before.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because this is the one where they're like, hey, let's pull the camera back, let's not cut away, let's let them do some moves.
I recognize this guy from other fights.
Yeah.
I don't know his name. But
Yeah, but they fight through like this garage on top of a car, and but like he gets a good one where he gets kicked into it and then like crashes in and spins off the car, and
yeah, they've got like the bare steel girders and stuff in it. You know, like structural stuff. And yeah, he gets
Yeah.
kicked into one and just does this like wall walk up and flip around and it's like
Yep.
I'm ready to go. It's cool.
yeah, and he eventually grabs. Apparently there were just jumper cables hooked up to a battery, and he tries to zap her, and eventually she is able to obviously turn them
They may have
back on
had
him.
one of those charger things. You know, 2 charge batteries.
Yeah.
Just always on. I
Yeah,
don't know.
but as he's about to hit her, he's got the spark thing, so that you know they're live.
Right.
Yeah, but she's able to turn it back, and he zaps himself, and then the brother is there.
yeah,
'cause-
Eugene's brother. I don't know that we knew that it was his brother, but I don't know prior to this that there was any.
But-
say that.
But I do think that she shoots one of the dudes in the gang. When she shoots him, he was one of them who was there that killed her sister.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that guy was, and I think she has like this recognition that okay, it's one of those guys. But yeah, she fucking caps this dude, because there is a point where she's like John Wooing, like jumping over a car and shooting a gun and all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
But yeah, the brother, like, they talk some shit. She's like, I just want Eugene. And he's like, well, Eugene's not here. You got to deal with me. I'm his brother. And
and she's just like, she has a back of matches, I think, and then just finds there's another one of the flammable barrels. I guess
Yeah.
she's cut open and just, kicks it so it leaves a trail and just tosses the lit match
yeah,
on.
she
So
tosses the match and is able to get out somehow. he gets out too because he gets blown the fuck up because they suddenly cut to like just an eruption coming out of this place.
Yeah. And then a body is in the middle of the fireball
Yeah,
that you don't
man.
realize is being ejected from the fireball.
They launched a dummy out of that explosion, and it's
so good.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gets better though because, like, okay, so backing up a couple scenes, like one thing I want to bring up because I mean, like, look, I'm not trying to do too much to make sense of all this, but they really don't establish how or where or when she gets her. Not that she has a ton of supplies, but she has some weapons and things that she takes into these battles with her. Like, there's one battle where she goes in with a couple of smoke grenades. And, like, that's, like, one of the first times where I was like, oh, this is very Batman. And then until 2 seconds later, she picks up a guy's gun and is like, blam, blam, blam. I'm like, okay, not so Batman. But, yeah, I'm just saying. It
She
doesn't really
doesn't get many
establish
supplies, but
I
the
guess there's
average...
an Army, Navy surplus.
In 1996, the average person wasn't coming across smoke grenades easily.
No. Yeah, but...
Unless you read Soldier of Fortune magazine, I guess.
Maybe she had a copy. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah. But yes. Anyway, I guess it's time for the final showdown reveal. Because I mean, like, we see Eugene and company sitting there, and I think we're supposed to assume he's sitting talking to the man or whoever they keep talking about. You know that's behind all this.
Because that's right. You're right. Her friend getting blown up is retribution.
Yeah.
Because she takes his car.
Right.
Like, he's like, we're broken up. And he's like, oh my God, how can I help? Your friend just died. She's like, give me your keys. And just takes his car.
Yeah, because she jumps to some sort of conclusion of like, I don't think we even mentioned that sexy lawyer guy is friends with the assistant DA lady. And because they've been seen like kind of being friendly from time to time, like giving her rides and stuff, and then kind of like hugging. And he was like, she's an old school friend or something like that, is what he explains to her. But
we, the audience, and Cynthia Rothrock have been suspicious of this relationship.
So she has now jumped to the conclusion. She's like, the friend when she's dying said, "I followed you. I know." I guess she was basically like, "I know about you being the vigilante, and I was jealous, but not of him. I wanted you." Blah blah blah. She's dead. Mm-hmm. And then she immediately jumps to the conclusion that she told him, and therefore he told the DA lady, and that's why they organized the hit on her at the car. I mean, she just jumps to like putting all that together immediately. It's just like, "Don't talk to me. Give me your car. Leave me alone." And then, takes off for the bad guys. Now, the bad guys are sitting around having this meeting with a body turned to us, where we just have the back of the head.
Turned away from us.
Turned away from us, back of the head. And I assumed they were talking to Mr. Big or the man, whatever the hell he was called. No, it's Eugene's brother. Like, it's his corpse. But what's funny is, like, either they reclothed him or he has just managed to burn literally nothing but his skin. Yeah. I mean, it's clearly just the actor with some bad makeup on, but his hair's
fine.
Completely fine. Clothes, completely fine. Skin burnt to a fucking crisp.
Yeah.
Maybe he's wearing a Nomex suit. I don't know.
Yeah. And he dead.
Oh, yeah, he's absolutely dead.
He's definitely dead.
They're just Norman Batesing with him here.
Yeah, but Eugene is just like, what are we going to say? What am I going to tell my dad? This is my fucking brother.
Right.
You guys got him killed because you were cowards. And he's yelling, but it's just like there's just this charred body hanging out there, just sitting in the chair.
Mm-hmm. Man, does anyone else want barbecue?
Yeah.
I don't know why, I just do.
Yep. But yeah, she comes in and she's like, "Oh, you're Eugene. I'm gonna fight you." And at some point when she starts fight, because they have a little bit of a fight where she's got like 2 just sticks, and he's got nunchucks, and they fight for a little bit until the crooked cop guy comes in
and
shoots the gun, and she's like, "Wow, am I glad to see you?" And he's like, "You've been a problem." And
I really don't understand this because he's like, "Yeah, it's been me all along. You've been a problem, and that's why I had your sister and nephew killed." It's like, how is she a problem? You didn't really establish this. Like, how is she ever a problem? You had the hots for her, and she kind of told you to fuck off. And also, how did you know her other than passing before you were assigned to be the case for her dead sister?
And it's also like, even if that was the case, like, you killing them was what spurred her to become the hero.
Right, yeah. You've created your own villain.
Yeah.
Good job, Batman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but so now she's like, "Oh, so you were behind it all." And then as she's about to get shot, that's when the boyfriend bursts in.
sexy lawyer guy
Yeah.
comes in and manages to lose his shirt like nearly immediately.
Oh yeah, the first guy that punches him just rips his shirt off.
Yeah.
Like when he stumbles into the scene, his shirt is like disheveled or whatever, and you're like, okay, well that's coming off.
So you managed to get your shirt off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little
So-
something for the ladies in this.
Yeah,
one.
he ends up having to fight Eugene. I think she just ends up chasing the crooked cop up to the roof, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't get a Rothrock hero fight.
Oh well,
Ender.
we do get a fight with her like somehow hopping on a net and acting like it's a spider web.
Yeah,
and
that
the
was
two
cool.
other guys climbing up on it and trying to fight her as if it's
Yeah.
a spider web.
And she totally wins.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's in this fight scene or if it's in the earlier warehouse fight scene, but we get our one sort of scorpion kick. This is also
Yeah.
why it's very strange, because we don't really get a feature scorpion kick
No.
out of Cynthia Rothrock, which is like, that's her signature move.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta.
Yeah, the fights are just different in this than what
Yeah.
we're used to from her.
And apparently the coordinator is somebody that she specifically recommended.
Yeah.
So it's strange.
Yeah, it is. But anyway, she does that for a little bit. He ends up beating up Eugene,
Yeah.
and eventually, like, there's also a bartender back there who's just kind of like dealing with all this shit as it's happening.
I like that he counters the trope. So he gets punched into the bar, and you're like, I've seen a movie. The bartender is about to take a bottle and smash it over his head. I've
Right.
seen a cowboy movie.
Yeah.
But like he almost instinctively is like, I know that bottle's coming, counter, and just like knocks the bartender out on the
Yeah.
bar. But like he didn't do a good enough job because the bartender then comes up with a shotgun later. But it's
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, he also comes up with like a full Nelson at one point, and then later comes back up. The bartender's like,
yeah.
like a whack-a-mole.
How did Eugene get stabbed or whatever before he got shot?
the bottle, because
Oh, the bottle, that's
Eugene
right,
gets knocked
okay.
over the bar and comes back over with two bottles, like, ha crash, breaks the bottles, and starts coming after
That's right.
sexy
Okay.
lawyer.
I'm a little disappointed. Like, I mean, there's a lot to be disappointed with in
Sure.
things in this movie, but he stabs him with like a broken bottle that is broken just barely past the neck,
Yeah.
and right in his neck. That should have been blood fountain. I mean, that should
Well,
have been.
I mean,
Sure,
they
it should've
spray the
been
wall
coming out
behind
of the-
him.
yeah, I'm just saying
They
that
spray
should.
the wall behind him when he hits him.
But
Should
no,
have been
that-
coming out of the neck of the bottle.
Yes, that's
yeah.
what I mean. That should have been like an immediate, like, oh, I just made a sprinkler like on your neck.
Yeah, it
And
probably
it's
should
skeet,
have,
skeet,
but
motherfucker.
he doesn't have much time because he gets ventilated like a second
Well,
later.
that's true. Yeah.
Because
Right.
the bartender comes up with a shotgun and sexy
a
lawyer's
shotgun.
like, oh shit, and chucks Eugene in the way,
Mm-hmm.
and Eugene just gets fucking blasted.
Sure does.
Yep.
R.I.P. Eugene.
But yeah, then somehow in the middle of all this, like, so Cynthia Rothrock is up on the roof trying to fight the dirty
She
detective.
catches up to him and he's just talking more shit.
Well, yeah, he like punches her from behind a crate and catches her and is about to like get the drop on her again somehow. And
Well,
then,
he's just got the gun on her talking shit, and that's when boyfriend runs up on the roof.
yeah,
He's like,
he's managed
hey,
to,
what's happening?
He's managed to put his shirt back on, mostly
Yeah.
because he needs a squib, and it's hard to hide on bare skin. But
Yeah.
yeah, because he gets one in the shoulder, and then that's enough for her to disarm the detective and kick him through the convenient place skylight that is
Yep.
there. And
Yeah, and he lands like on the pool table or the bar or one of them, and
sure,
he's dead.
I mean, when you go through a skylight, unless there's a shark tank under there, you're probably not going to survive.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's a shark tank under there, you're probably not going to survive anyway.
Well, I mean, you survive. It's just
You'll survive
You'll
longer.
survive the landing.
You'll just be a
Yeah.
lot shorter.
yeah.
You'll survive a little bit longer.
Yeah. Yeah. From here, like they're like, okay, I guess we're boyfriend and girlfriend again. And from here, they cut to the assistant DA and Dan Thiemann,
Mm-hmm.
and the DA check is just like, man,
I know she's the vigilante.
yeah, they pinched our guy, but did you know we found out who the vigilante is? And he's like, what? And she's like, yeah, it was Cynthia Rothrock. And Dan Thiemann's like, no fucking way. And then she's like, well, we can't really go after her because everyone in
Santa Marta.
Santa Marta loves the vigilante, and it would be suicide for the campaign to go after her. So we'll just have to keep an eye on her in the future
Haha.
in the sequel that will never happen.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, it's clearly sequel bait, and
And I
There's
just
no
want to
sequel.
point out Dan Thiemann is if you think about what the movies have tried to paint as a scumbag DA that's running for, elected office, that's exactly what this guy looks like.
Yeah. They cast him well.
They did. He's very tan.
He's very
Oh,
slimy.
this guy has definitely like done blackface in a fraternity thing somewhere
yeah.
back in the day.
Dan
yeah.
has definitely.
Oh yeah,
he's a piece of
absolutely.
shit.
Like I mean,
for sure.
He stuck his dick in a pig's mouth or something, whatever.
Right.
Like some shit you don't want to know about.
He's in a secret society.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Cynthia Rothrock and Lawyer Loverboy are coming down the stairs with a box, and they have a little chat. I don't remember what the fuck was said because it wasn't important. And then they leave and oh no, they drop the box and they drop the box, pick it up. They have some banter. They finish going downstairs, and Loverboy Lawyer is like, "Callback. Is it hot in here or is it just me?" And then they kiss and they freeze frame on this kiss for like 6 hours.
Yeah.
It's a reframe because she did the.
Right.
Is it hot in here? Is it me? And then it's like, it's you, smooch. And then.
Yeah.
So yeah, movie's over.
Yep. We didn't mention sound mix. It's
Awful.
terrible.
Fucking atrocious.
Fucking terrible. Like unfinished, uncleaned up, terrible. Songs in the background mixed that like 5 decibels too high.
Then to top it off, then there's scenes where like what ends up being the completely unnecessary scene with the dirty detective and the gang members. One of his first moves is he walks in and shoots a Lincoln, which sets off a car alarm for the whole fucking scene in the background.
Yeah.
The whole fucking scene, because his parting thing is to walk away and shoot the car and kill the alarm.
And it's like boom mic'd. It's not even like these guys are lav mic'd or anything. Like you cannot hear half of what anyone is saying.
Except for one time when they were obviously lav mic'd in the stairwell scene where he went to pick up the folders from her, brushed it up against her lav mic.
Yeah.
And it went. It was like, oh, gee, I wonder where the mic's hiding.
Yeah.
Singing in the rain.
Just like we all booed when the sound crew credits came up at the end. We're like, boo, boo.
Oh, Pierre, you shouldn't have come.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, it's bad.
It is. However, it's time to rate the movie.
It is.
And I'm giving it 4 jocks. Because it's fucking my level of batshit. It doesn't quite push over the top because like a lot of the early stuff, like the editing is very annoying. But this is a ride, man. This movie's fucking weird in the ways that we like movies being weird. And like not having a set tone, just like being like, oh, you know what? This scene, we're going to have elephant sounds and dumb shit. And guys doing that rock flop, just stupid.
The rock flop. Why didn't I just think that's what it's called? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
It is actually what it's called, yes.
I was just saying that.
No,
The rock flop.
The rock flop is specifically the movie takes. I mean, he oversold the stunner, blah, 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 is the big thing he did.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, it's 4 jocks. It's almost there. It's just so fucking weird. And just the business sexual stuff, all that. It's just wild. Wild fucking movie. Not what I was expecting in any way when we were like, let's watch a Cynthia Rothrock movie.
Right? It does so much. This is the kind of movie that you watch with your friends. Like this is what bad movies is all about.
Yeah.
I feel like we've watched a bunch of shit movies and a bunch of movies that are like, okay, this has action and it messes up a bunch, but this is the wacky shit that you come for. Like this is the kind of movie that if you want to get a bad movie night started at your house every Thursday or whatever, put this one in the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's not the best.
It's not as immediately fun like Samurai Cop or something, but it is out there.
A ride. You will not stop talking about it with your friends for 2 weeks. 4 jocks, absolutely. Easy call on that one. It's not quite there. You're right.
Yeah. It's so close, but it's not quite.
I gotta be a little slightly downer. I'm only going 3. I get it. As I was watching it, I was like, I get it. I get this is everything that we should want, but it's also kind of painful to watch in a lot of scenes.
Yeah.
It really is. It's I don't know. I mean, I would be curious to go back and see. I'm sure we have it written down, like what I gave The Room and stuff like that. Like, The Room is one of those things. It's almost more fun to say you survived it than like to actually sit and watch it and in some ways.
I think I think about this a lot, actually, every time I watch The Room, which is far more often than anyone should.
Okay.
But our first experience with that, we absolutely rated it correctly.
Did we? Okay.
Yeah, we were really hard on it, but it deserved it because it's bad.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, that was one of those cases I had literally no idea what I was getting into.
Yeah,
All I
same.
knew was that weird movie. That's it.
Yeah, I think our expectations for The Room were very different than what The
Yeah.
Room is.
I had no idea.
And
what
now that
movie
we have
was.
proper expectations, whenever we watch it, we're like,
Yeah,
what
I
the
guess so.
fuck?
Yeah.
well, we also have
A lot more experience.
a lot more experience, and we know what it is. We know all of the stuff behind it, like you said, expectations, but also we've seen it before, so we know how to have fun with it, and we
Yeah.
know all the stupid things to look for. Yeah, it's weird to say, you need to see a movie twice, but The Room you have to see twice.
Yeah.
There's like no ifs, ands, or buts about that.
Yeah, there are multiple things in this movie that I just ended up like cackling about and they weren't even like necessarily supposed to be funny. They were just like little what the fuckness.
Yeah, the stuff that was supposed to be funny isn't, but
yeah. I mean, there was no attempts at like one-liners
there was the one
She
that
did the
I used for the
one.
intro.
which one?
There's one where after she kills the dude with the car, she's like, oops.
That's it. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's more than like,
okay, I suppose,
normally
then
she would
nothing,
just
sure.
run away.
I get it. I guess
Yeah.
to me, a one-liner has to be punny or something
you
related
stick
to the
around,
kill. Yeah,
you know, all that sort of
yeah.
shit.
Like I did as soon as the guy got impaled. I was like, oh, the chair rests,
Yeah.
and I'm like, that
Yeah.
works because
Yep.
it's been put to rest by a chair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, but I don't know. Like I said, I get it. I see all the ingredients of like what it is we're looking for. Those diamonds in the rough. It's just, and sometimes it's a little more rough than it is diamond.
Yeah.
So
Oh, sure.
yeah. But yeah, a completely unexpected thing. I mean, I did not. Nobody expects Sworn to Justice when you press play on a Cynthia Rothrock movie.
Right.
I mean, I wouldn't think.
A surprise all around, to be sure. Speaking of surprises,
Yeah.
I think it's time to get to that announcement that I mentioned in the beginning. So, this is probably something that you don't want to hear, but episode 600 is going to be the last episode of the BMFcast Prime
Yeah, we're wrapping it up.
podcast show. We are looking at some ways to continue doing BMFcasty things with you guys. It's been, 13 years?
15.
15 years?
It will
Jesus
be 15
Christ, I'm
years
so
in
old.
March,
This is why my
which
back hurts.
kind of spurred that on a little bit
Yeah.
because it was right around 600. We delayed enough episodes lately that we would have hit 600 right on the anniversary, but it's going to be a little bit after that.
Yep.
But yeah, we're you can tell we've kind of slowed down over the past year, you know.
I think we did a good job of making it through the pandemic years and through 15 years of life changes for all of us in many ways, shapes, and forms.
It's tough to do this every week for 15 years.
Yeah.
Which is why we started doing every other week, and now we're just kind
And
of
it's tough to do it every other week still.
Yeah.
We've outlasted, I don't know, like 487
Oh
other
my God. Well, I used
podcasts. You used to keep a list.
there
didn't
was a
it?
point I had one just so that we weren't overlapping movies with people.
Yeah.
And really, the only ones that are left are like Flophouse and We Hate Movies.
Yeah.
Are
And,
the only people that were around from like 2010 before
You know,
2010.
all of us esteemed people that have been mentioned in the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, pretty much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And plenty of them, like when they folded, those people came over here. You know, they're like, "Hey, you guys, all right, that's cool." Yeah.
So, yeah,
We outlasted the other BMF cast, the cosplayers or whatever the hell they were.
Oh, we did.
They were only 2 episodes.
I know, I'm
and
joking.
They were dicks about it.
Yeah.
When we're like, "Hey, just so you know."
We're already out
We
here. We got
exist.
this name.
Yeah. Did not care. But anyway,
But
fuck them.
Weebs.
They're gone.
so if you're a patron, first of all, I want to say thank you for all the support over
Yes.
the years. We have been surprised every month at the amount of support that you guys have given us, and we thank you so much for it. The patrons are a big reason that that we're able to keep this show going on in a financial sense.
Yeah.
It relieved a big burden for us, so thank you so much. Allowed us to do some interesting stuff, make some nice upgrades to put out a better product, to make
It
watching
also-
the movies easier.
It also let us do like some of the shows that we were just randomly
Yeah.
thinking about. That there was no other place for them,
Yes.
so it made sense to put them there.
Yeah.
And Patreon, we're still figuring out what to do with
Right.
it. Everything is still there, and we want it to remain there for people that have subscribed and want to still access all of it. I know you and Jens have made it through the 15th Bond film.
Well, that's released. We have recorded up to what was that one? The one with Dr. Christmas Jones.
Oh,
The World Is Not
The
Enough.
World Is Not Enough.
Yeah. So yeah, we've recorded up through The World Is Not Enough. Jens and I are committed to finishing that out. We're still discussing what that release schedule looks like, but we will definitely be recording them and making them available. So
Yeah.
I think
I want to still hear them.
I want to still do them because we're almost done.
Yeah, and there's other stuff we've been considering.
Yeah, I think we want to at least eventually release everything to the public. You know, all of anything that's left in the archives that we haven't released. So all of our nudes and all of the nudes that you've sent us,
God,
we will also.
Bonus BS was on there. There's so much stuff. So a lot of it, I think, it maybe a lot of it moves to lower tiers and that sort of thing. But but we're still figuring out what to
figuring
do
that
with
out.
it because we want to keep doing some things. That's the thing is like we don't want to just be like, all right, we're going from the internet. Bye.
Right.
The Discord is
Discord is going to live on.
Yeah, that's going to live
because
permanently.
that's our little community. You know, that's where we get to talk to you guys. I've been absent for like 2 weeks. Don't worry about me. I'm fine. But yeah, that's our little community hub.
Yeah.
Where we've gotten to know a bunch of you guys over the years, and so can't let that go.
Yeah. And
But-
speaking of community, if you got something to tell us that you want to be on one of the final episodes, you should probably email it
Yeah,
or
if
call.
you've been that silent person sitting that's you in the corner,
Yeah.
then now's the time to.
Yeah, which
BMF
is also why we're not pulling a Walking Dead and just being like, it's episode 193. See ya.
Yeah. Yeah, and so we're kind of planning to do like a final mailbag episode. So
Yeah.
if you have something to say that you want to be read, send us an email, bmf@bmfcast.com. If you just want to send it to us and you don't want us to read it on the air, just
Denote.
put that in the subject or in the body of the email, and we won't read it. But
Yeah.
we'd like to kind of read these out and react to them in a special mailbag episode. Also, we still have the Garfield phone, 910-5-JOCKS-BMF, 910-556-9263. If you would rather do it in audio form, you can do that. Or if you want to do it in audio form and email us, that's fine too. However you want to do it. But if you've been lurking in the background and you want to get into the community, you've heard us just talk about it, don't forget that you can email us and we'll hook you up with the Discord.
Yep.
We have to prevent a rogue influx of furry Nazis by keeping invites off. So
Yeah.
otherwise, we would just post a bunch of invite links.
Yeah, that is
everywhere.
like look. I know what the words mean separately, but
I know.
it sounds delightful.
very
I'm saying like I know what a Nazi is. I'm just saying like a furry Nazi sounds like a good thing. It just sounds.
You didn't
like,
get any direct messages from this person.
I understand. I'm saying like if you just remove from a linguistic standpoint,
Sure.
that
Yeah,
sounds like
okay.
a friendly turn
Yeah.
of phrase.
Never say that again. But
Yeah,
I know what you mean, but
Yes.
never say it again, especially when it's being recorded.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah,
If it takes more to talk yourself out of what you've just said,
right.
let it rest.
You're not wrong, but you're also
Let it rest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, so email us bmf@bmfcast.com and just say you can just write Discord invite and we'll hit you back with an invite to it.
yeah,
We just have to protect ourselves because
it's stupid.
there are a bunch of
The internet is
fucking
stupid.
weirdos out there. So I think that's all we have to say about that.
Yeah,
We wanted to keep it kind of short
but thank you for listening.
for 15 years.
For I think about 600 episodes it's too many. It's just too many.
It's so many.
Yeah.
Plus you and Chuck had like what 200 something extra.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't even remember how many it was.
It's too
but
hard.
What are we fucking supernatural over here?
It's
Yeah,
200
for
something.
real. Like you had that. We had all like 80 episodes of the Doctor Who one.
We're over 1,000 episodes of total content.
Yeah, No Quarters. We had a ton of that. Yeah, that we're canceling No Quarters, by the way.
Yeah, the last episode of No Quarters is going to be the last episode
Yeah,
that
whenever-
you heard
whenever
of
that
No
was.
Quarters.
Yeah, we're canceling No Quarters. Just so you know.
Yeah, just in case. Also, No Pretense of Cool is never coming back.
Oh no,
Yeah.
that was very unceremoniously canceled. Unlike No Quarters, which got a proper send off.
Yeah.
Oh man.
No Pretense of Cool was a great.
So for once,
title.
we're gonna do a proper send off for a show instead of it just fucking dying.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
We're not pod fading. We're going to pod flame out here.
yeah, but we're still figuring everything out. As far as like the hosting for the site, how long we keep that up.
How long we can afford it.
Yeah, those sorts of things. So that's where it stands. But if you want to say something to us, now's the time.
Yep.
Because we will vanish forever.
We'll never
Not,
listen.
we're
to
not
you
on
again.
Twitter anymore.
Yeah, we're gonna close down the email. No, we're not. Well, we don't. Nobody uses Twitter anymore.
No, definitely not.
But yeah, we wanted to let you guys know as soon as possible. So now we have. So now we are guilt free and are going to go rogue and buck wild for the next 5 episodes.
Yep. It's all nude
6.
episodes
Yep.
coming up.
6.
Tune in.
Yeah, we got.
We're going full
6.
Rothrock.
Yeah, we have a tentative schedule, but that may change a little bit. But we wanted to get Rothrock in. Rothrock's this was we're visiting some old favorites.
We are Yes.
Yeah, paying some visits to.
Yes, the old Murderer's Row,
Yeah.
which is our favorite row.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So on that note,
I've already told you how to get a hold of us. So
Yeah.
do it. It's bmfcast.com. If you don't know by now, you may never know.
yeah, at this point,
Yes.
So-
Well, let's get out of here, shall we?
Okay.
I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ, and this is BMFcast out. Bye.
Dum, 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 dum. News dropped.
So we haven't announced that on the Discord yet. This is the first time that that we've talked about it. I don't know if we announce it on the Discord or not, or I think news may spread.
See if it just happens organically.
Yeah. That'll let us know how many people actually listen.
Right.
But
Well,
that's
we don't-
also why we're doing it a few weeks early.
Yeah.
And not a few weeks, few months early, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Several fortnights.
Yes. Several Kiras. Or
Kira Knightley's. Fortnightly's.
Kira Fortnightly's, yeah.
Yeah.
First to know, Kyle, besides us, and I did tell Jens. I had to tell Jens. Because we were recording a podcast together.
Oh,
The other day.
while you were recording,
I was.
you
I
wanted
was
to get his live reaction
Yeah.
on tape.
No, I didn't get it on tape. That would have been rude. But no, I was like, hey, since we're recording today, you might want to. You might need to know.
Hold on to your butts.
Yeah. So, like I said, we're definitely going to finish that.
How do you
out.
have so many in the can?
We got way ahead
Yeah.
pretty early, and then because
And
we
no time to edit.
there was a little bit of no time to edit, and because like no time to edit, no time to record, so we wanted to maintain a few episodes ahead
Yeah.
so that we could. It actually kind of works out for this because now we can sort of start rapid firing some episodes and release them pretty
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah, I found like if I had watched something like, especially for Futurama, I could not rely on my notes. I needed to watch it like and record like within a day or two.
That's what I
Because
tried
there's
to do
a
as
lot of
well.
things I fucked up, like all the dudes from Omicron 5. I kept calling it Omnicron
Ooh.
because I had written it down on my notes as Omicron, and then I was like,
That's
"Nah,
not
it was
right.
Omnicron, right?" And then it was like, I was like, "All right, I'm already committed. I'm just gonna fucking read it."
Unicron.
Yeah, I'm aware of Unicron as
Oh.
well. Wait, whose name? Oh, Jens.
Oh, you mean Yen?
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. Wait.
Yeah.
That's not what he sounds like.
He does not sound like that at all.
No, Jens
I
definitely
like that
sounds like
patrons
this.
eventually got to hear what Jens actually
Yes.
sounds like.
No, Jens has a very lightly accented, pleasant voice.
He sounds just like Walter Koenig doing.
No, Jens sounds like a nice man.
Are you saying
He
Walter Koenig
has a
is
very
not nice
pleasant
man?
voice.
He does.
Yeah.
It's fun to like hang out with Jens because like talking with him when we're doing the podcast, he has sort of a nice normal voice, but like in a crowd when we're all getting boisterous, you get boisterous Jens,
Yeah.
which is a little bit more accented and his volume goes up.
Yeah.
Like, don't take this the wrong way if you're listening to this yet.
Yeah.
I love you. I think you're fantastic. But yeah, it's like you just get Jens
We
times
like,
2.5
we like your
or something like
Bavarian
that.
bravado.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. It's a little less reserved, is what
Well,
I mean.
I'll say the best compliment I can give to that show is every time I listen, I'm like, fuck, I wish I had been part of that.
You had an opportunity.
I know I did, and it's still good that I didn't. It would have
I would have
delayed
had to,
everything even worse.
I would have
than
had
it
to
is.
edit it. Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been even worse than
Yeah.
it was.
If you didn't know, Jens edits that show, and I think he does a fantastic job. He spends a lot of time on it. It's really, like, he's really getting in the trenches of
Yeah.
editing that show.
Well, you can tell he loves editing because he'll like drop music in. He started doing some more funky stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
He's doing it a little bit more like
I'm listening.
Goldsmith Odyssey is.
Yeah.
I'm glad you are, because I get, like, zero feedback on any of the other
Well,
guys.
that's how Doctor Who was. It was like
Yeah.
Moon Pier would talk to me about it, and that would be like the only person. And then there were a couple other people like, "Oh, Doctor Who, did you get to the Blink episode?" I'm like, "Yeah, we got to the Blink episode." You know.
Blink? Oh, Blink. I thought you said
Yeah.
Blake. I
No,
was
no,
like,
Blink. Sorry.
Blink, yeah.
The Blake Bortles
Yeah.
episode
yeah,
of Doctor
no,
Who.
I don't know. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, someone was actually asking at Jen's birthday party, and I was like, "Yeah, we got up to Torchwood season 4, and then we stopped." And then someone's like, "What's Torchwood?" I'm like, "Let me tell you about Torchwood. It's terrible. It's also awesome, but it's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
But it's awesome."
Did you know that Doctor Who is an anagram of Torchwood?
I think Torchwood's an anagram of Doctor Who, but all right.
I think they're both of those
I mean,
is right. Yeah.
Sure, yes. I'm just which one came first, and all.
Yeah.
Did you know that Torchwood is a bananagram of Doctor Who? Bananagram.
Yeah. But I do miss that show, but I don't think it's coming back.
Yeah. It's been real. It's been fun.
I feel like I should just watch Doctor Who solo at this point and be like, "All right, here's what I would have said."
I mean, I still I gotta go back to the beginning of I gotta watch all of Capaldi. That's where how far back.
Well,
I
we
am.
stopped midway through Matt Smith. Like we hit
Yeah,
the
yeah.
mid-season finale and stopped
was
because it was the season where like the astronaut dude kills
yeah,
him. in
It
the
is
beginning.
Matt Smith, right? To Capaldi, yeah. Okay.
Yes.
I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, didn't Matt Smith go for like 5 or 6 seasons? It was a long time.
I don't remember now.
Yeah.
I thought it was only like 3, but maybe not.
Well, what's his name was Tennant was only like 3.
Well, plus these specials now, I guess.
Oh yeah. He just can't stay away. Yeah.
He likes money.
I think
Yeah.
he really likes that character.
Yeah.
Well, he's kind of like married into the Doctor Who family, so
He
he's
is,
like
yeah.
there's that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Was,
And,
was
like-
his wife like the daughter of the second Doctor or something like that, or
one of them. I don't remember which, but
one of
yeah.
the original creators? Or something?
but I like doing that X-Men show with Chuck as well. And that's
Not
one,
all X-Men.
yeah, but that one was gonna like the stuff I really wanted to get to was like we would have to have done that show for like 6 or 7 years to even get to all of
Jesus.
it, and Chuck would not have liked it as much. But I definitely I made the right decision starting in the Silver Age with Chuck because Silver Age like Stan Lee written comics are just complete bullshit, and they're so stupid that they're great. And that's like straight up Chuck's alley. Is just like, okay, Magneto did what?
I wonder if he's ever tried to read early Spider-Mans. Amazing Spider-Man Number 8 is one of my favorite dumb comics of all time.
Number 8.
Yeah,
Which-
it's called.
which
I
issue
think
is
it's called
that?
the trouble with being a teenager or something like that. It's just hard to explain. It's so fucking goofy. It's just one where Peter is just dealing with shit in his life, like Flash Thompson and his aunt and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's
no
just,
supervillain.
Yeah, it's just goofy and fucking great.
Yeah, but also like the Silver Age stuff is fun because it's like one issue, like every issue was somebody's first issue type thing. So it was like that's each story is wrapped up in 20 pages.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the old Stan Lee ones. Like, I mean, I started reading them like from #1, and I mean, Professor X is not a cool guy throughout the run of X-Men, but he's especially fucking creepy in the beginning.
Oh yeah, with all the Jean Grey stuff.
Yeah.
Like he's in love with Jean Grey, and you're like, no, dude, you're like 60, and she's literally 15.
Yeah.
This is not. No, don't do that. Yeah, and it's not like joking. Like it is his private thoughts, like that we are thought bubbles where he's like, I have feelings for Jean. What should I say? And you're like, you should say nothing. Motherfucker.
Yeah.
You should not even think them anymore. You should stop.
Say, hello, police. I am
Yeah.
having bad thoughts.
At least
Please
Wolverine
put me
looked
away."
like her age when he met her,
Yeah.
even though he was like 90 or 100 or something. Yeah.
Well, and also she was of age by that.
Well, yeah.
But like, the first issue of X-Men, they're all fucking teenagers. It's gross. Yeah. But they're really stupid, and every villain is just like hamming it up.
Yeah, Magneto doesn't show up like issue #4, right, or something like that. It's like not right away, is it?
He's in issue 1.
Is he?
Nobody knows.
Okay, I thought he was like didn't show up right away.
No, he's issue 1. The Brotherhood of Evil Mutants is what shows up in issue 4, and that's when you get Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch.
Oh,
To show you how long ago that was, we were timing that episode to come out during WandaVision. So that's how long ago we stopped making that.
also I realized since it's germane somewhat to what we were just talking about,
Jermaine Dupri or Jackson?
either one. So as established by, I could not remember the scene with the people in the lumber microwave from Kick-Ass. I did not remember that one of his friends besides Clark Duke is the other Quicksilver guy, Evan Peters, in Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
So like,
Yep.
there's your two Quicksilvers like running around in the movie.
Yep.
and like in hindsight, I was like, oh, weird. I didn't remember this. I didn't remember this at all. So, but yeah, they replaced him in the second one. Some other guy.
Boo. I've still never seen the second one.
We're passing notes
All right.
in class.
Okay.
Just so I can make a thumbnail for the
I
episode.
never stopped that recording.
Oh, guess what, Boston? You
Sorry.
got a lot of shit to listen to. Sorry, friend.
okay. We'll deal. All right.
Yeah,
So,
10:30. Time to get out of here.
the hard news is over.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for sticking with us for 15 years. We will see you for another 5.5 episodes, and then we'll never talk to you again. We'll never darken your doorstep again.
This sounds about right. Bye.
Bye for now. The
Bye,
internet.
Kyle. Kyle's heartbroken.
I know. Love you, Kyle. Sorry, bud. I love everybody today.
I wore the shirt.
He did.
I might
I'm
have.
like a member of the band that's wearing his own shirt.
I worked today, so I was not.
Hi, I'm Stan Lee, creator of the BMFcast.
Mm-hmm. There he is.